we go, off to Mexico. We just did a photo shoot with Dave, so I'll share those photos in a sec. Okay, here we are, leaving the Ventura Keys that we've been at for the last 2 weeks. You'll get to see Dave and Amy on the dock because they came to wish us farewell and bon voyage. Heading back out into the open ocean. Should be fun. There's Dave and Amy. All right, day one, which is August 11th. We just left the Ventura Keys. Otto's down below because he's seasick. Caleb is on lookout for sea life. We saw some dolphins a little bit ago. Oh, you can see there's a oil rig right there. But we saw dolphins a little bit ago, but they were really far away, so we couldn't see them very well. We just could tell that's what's out there. But other than Otto getting seasick, everything is going well. There's no wind, so we have to motor. We're hoping that once we get past the islands out here that the wind will pick up. But it is kind of cloudy and a little bit chilly, so we're hoping the sun will come out and charge up our batteries as well. All right, I'll check in a little bit. All right, so we've shut off the engine. Otto's down there to give the brake a try.
That certainly works.
It worked?
Oh yeah.
Yay! Okay, I'll have him take a video.
That's it.
So here we are sailing, attempting to sail. There's not much wind. And we got flagged by, or hailed by the what? Henry J. Kaiser and Warship. And they said, we have to move because they're doing an exercise and we're in their way. So we cranked on the engine and we are getting out of their way. I'll try to get a better picture when they get closer, if they get closer, but they said we have to stay at least a half a mile away. So check it out. My husband has the American tourist look down. Shorts, socks, and the sandals. Alright, we're entering the port of Ensenada, Mexico. So excited. So far, it's pretty uneventful. But we will check in a little bit and let you know how it goes. That didn't look staged at all. All right, so we are in Ensenada, Mexico. We came in yesterday at like 8:30-ish. So it really only took us 48 hours from the time that we left Ventura to get here, which we thought like 3 to 5 days. So we kind of sailed down pretty quickly. Well, we mostly motored down because we didn't really have any wind. I think we had the engine off like what, 3 hours maybe?
No, maybe like 8.
Oh really?
Yeah, because it was 2 different days that
Oh,
we turned
yeah,
it off
yeah,
for a
that's right.
while.
Yep.
But at some point during both days, we had the engine off.
Yeah.
So
it was pretty good. There was like so much chatter until we hit the border, and then the radio kind of went quiet. But I think it was due to the military being out there and practicing whatever the military practices.
and things blowing up that we heard.
Yeah. And so we got here to Ensenada, and we've never been here before, and this was our first stop in Mexico, so we had to do the customs check-in and check in with the, what do they call him, port master?
Port captain.
So not knowing how to do that process and not having done it before, come to Ensenada. It's super awesome. If you come not on Saturday and Sunday, there's actually a gentleman that will drive you to the place that you need to go. And since all of the forms were in Spanish, not Spanish and English like we do them in the United States, I didn't know. I mean, I could tell obviously what like name and stuff like that was, but for a lot of the information I wouldn't have known. So he actually went with us and did all the forms and talked to the people and made it a smooth transition. Although we did come in on a Friday, so there was a lot of people there because, you know, people come for the weekend to go fishing. So that part took a long time, like 3 hours maybe.
Yeah, it was a long dang time.
So that was super annoying, but if you don't come on a Friday, he said it's not normally that long. It's less than an hour. And I've heard, so we did our immigration, the port master, and then the TIP, which will last 10 years. But we heard from some other people that every time they've gone to check in at other ports, that it was like a totally different process and it was a hassle. And some of the harbor masters, you actually had to pay them to do it for you. So Ensenada was great because we didn't have to pay the gentleman. He just works for the marina, and that was super awesome. And then as far as like the COVID stuff, we had to stay on our boat until they sent a doctor down, but he was just basically like an EMT. He took all of our temperatures, they did our blood oxygen level, and then they asked us a series of questions about symptoms. And since we passed it, they said we're good to go to shore. Although in Mexico, currently right now, it's what, August 14th?
Yeah.
Currently right now, you have to wear a mask everywhere you go when you're inside. When you're outside, you don't have to wear a mask unless you want to, or you feel like it's crowded and you're around a lot of people. And they're not letting more than one person from a household into a grocery store, but sometimes I've heard that changes, and it depends on the store. So that's it as far as what you need to do with the COVID restrictions here. Yeah, I think Ensenada was a great place to check in.
Yeah, and then we went to check out, and it was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was it.
We just went to the
Immigration, and
she just filled out some certain things and stamped a couple things.
Well, the marina had it already filled out.
Okay.
So she made, because the marina here asked us when we were leaving what day we would be checking out, and she did all the paperwork for us. All I had to do was sign it. I had to sign like 2 or 3 sheets, and then she gave us a letter saying that we don't owe the marina any money because we were paid in full. And then we took that to the immigration office, and the immigration lady checked it all over, checked our passports, made sure that we were all matching our pictures, put it in her computer, stamped it, and said, here you go. So, yeah, it was like maybe a 10-minute process. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So highly recommend Ensenada.
For ease.
Mm-hmm.
Quita Merchant standing by. Go ahead.
Oh.
This is your wheelhouse. Go ahead. This is your video.
Okay, we'll edit all that out. Good morning. We're here in Ventura, California. Notice that it's not Ensenada.
Or south of Ensenada.
Yeah, La Paz or something. So we underestimated our plans for heading south. And after speaking with numerous people in Mexico who have been sailing the Mexican coast and Mexican waters for years, they highly recommended that we either stay in Ensenada or head back north because the hurricanes they're anticipating are gonna kill us, basically. One lady put it that way. She was like, it's a 90% certain death if you head south today. But she was a little bit of a negative Nancy. So we originally thought that there would be...
I don't know, maybe just overly cautious. I don't want to put her down. She was a nice lady. She was just, I don't know. She was just heavily cautious, and I don't mind being that way either. Kind of. I don't want to put us in harm's way. So.
He's also a negative Nancy.
No, I'm not. I'm like super upbeat.
He says with a scowl. Anyway. Yeah. So, and also not to mention the fact that we assumed that certain places on the map and certain places that we had planned on holding up in, we assumed that they would work, and we were wrong. So the information that we looked at apparently was not, well, I guess like the hurricanes hit harder than we expected. So we thought there were
more often.
Right, so we thought that we would be able to tuck into some places, and it turns out that's not possible. Or some of the places that we thought we would be able to tuck into, the crime rate is higher than we thought. And not like, pirates and drug lords and things like that. But like if you leave your boat unattended and you have a dinghy or outboard, an opportunist is going to take advantage of that opportunity.
So I'm thinking about that just a second.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking maybe the dinghy and outboard option might not be a good analogy because you're likely to have taken your dinghy and outboard to shore in order to leave your boat.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could take your dinghy and outboard from the shore, but they're not going to take it from the boat because it won't be at the boat.
Yeah, okay, so we have jerry cans of fuel strapped to the outside of our boat.
Right.
And water, so they could have taken that. Or we sometimes leave our life jackets and binoculars and things in the cockpit because we just set them down because that's where we're using them out there. So things that are easy for people to just grab. Kind of like if you leave your car in your driveway and you leave the ashtray full of change and maybe a couple ones, and somebody comes in your driveway and you leave your door unlocked and they take it. So it's not like, the horror stories of, you go down there and all these negative things happen, but just opportunists take advantage of opportunities. And if they're criminals, they take advantage of that. So we didn't want to have to deal with that. We didn't want to have to deal with, even though we're tucked in, if the winds are 70, 80 miles an hour, which we're on Whidbey Island, so we've experienced that, and it's not stress-free. It sounds like a freight train is driving over your boat when the winds are going that high. And, if you're secured to a dock and the cleat breaks off, or a line comes loose. We've had a friend in a really bad storm. His line came loose, and he had a terrible night until the winds were down enough to where he could re-secure his boat. So we just decided to call up Rob and see if it wouldn't be a bad deal to come back and stay on his dock. And so we're gonna do a little barter system with him and stay here and do some work. And when the hurricanes kind of subside a little bit, we'll head south.
Extra great guy, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't
super
want to
awesome.
say literally who he is because it's like I want to respect his privacy, but the person who is helping us out can't thank him enough.
Yeah, like a total godsend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, there's a pause in our plan. We'll be hanging around with friends and family though, that is a silver lining because we do have family here and his dad's here, and so it'll be awesome to spend some time with him. And so. And we'll do little things on the boat. We were talking. So we have a water maker, but our water maker is a manual one. So super awesome. You have to like literally pump it. So you're burning calories and using up your water in your system to make water. So we're gonna see if he can modify that and make it not a manual, but an automatic, like with a pump. And what else were you gonna do? Oh, so our the hatch for the engine room door is fajunkety. It made a ton of noise when we were out in that storm, and when you walk on it, it seems, because it's also the stairs are attached to it to get in and out of the boat, it creaks and it seems like it's going to give any day. So he's going to rebuild that. And then our cabin and our son's berth is on either side of the engine, and so it's super hot if the engine's running and somebody's trying to take a nap, or if it's at night we're trying to sleep. So he has a fan system that he's going to put in that will take the hot air out of that, and it will try and cool the engine a little bit, and also, which I'm hoping, he's not thinking about this, but I'm hoping it will lead to a little bit of cooling our rooms down as well.
That's part of the goal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I just thought that was my goal.
No.
What else are we gonna do? I think that's it. Maybe. I don't know.
And that's more just like, I don't want to say like repairs, but more like upgrades. There's nothing really broke on our trip to Ensenada or back.
Yeah, they were pretty uneventful. I mean, they're on our way here. We were by Catalina Island, and there were hundreds of dolphins. I didn't take any video of it this time, but hundreds. We could see them far away, and at first, because they were jumping out of the water and flopping around, we thought they were so far away they looked small. We thought, oh my gosh, there's a ton of fish over there. We should head that way and start fishing. And then really close to our boat, a couple popped up, and I was like, wait, those aren't fish, those are dolphins. And just we were surrounded, like we were in the middle of their pod.
They were like little dolphins. I don't know, they weren't like regular bottlenose like flipper.
Yeah.
They were like half the length. I don't know what they were, but they kind of had like white sides on them. They were cool little dolphins.
But there were so many of them. It was so cool.
Yeah.
They were jumping off both sides of our boats, out of the water, all up, along the bow of our boat. It was pretty awesome. And other than that, it was super uneventful.
Yeah, just regular standard me getting seasick, and then there weren't really any seas, no wind to really sail with for the most part. We get like maybe a half a knot or a knot of boat speed help, but
yeah,
and then it would change, and then we couldn't anymore. So it was really, I don't know, I didn't enjoy either direction, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, and this time on our way from Ensenada to Ventura, we were pretty close to shore, and there were so many boats. It was kind of annoying. On my shift from midnight to 4 the first night we left, so that would have been, I guess, Monday morning, because we left Sunday. So midnight to 4 Monday morning, we were like bobbing. I was like bobbing and weaving between boats, like big cargo ships and big commercial fishing. He came out, was like, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, I just have to keep going around these guys, because some of them were like, nope, this is my course, I'm not altering, and that's fine, I don't care. I wasn't in a shipping lane or anything, but I just had to keep going around him. And then
it's just we can't go fast, so like to get out of their way sometimes is a little nerve-wracking.
It wasn't too bad. It was, for me, it was more like, oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. Like, I'd change my course and then think, okay, I'm going to stay this way for a little while. And then there'd be another boat I'd have to go around. So, yeah. All right, so that's it. We're hunkering down for a little while.